So we're at the Sonic drive-thru. We're coming here to get some yummy dessert for the night. Salam and welcome to Ramadan 2021 Iftar day number 14. I'm actually at a drive-thru. We came to Sonic. Where is this? East Meadow? Yeah. In East Meadow. I got my son Noah to bring me. It's around 10:30 at night and we just had a craving for dessert. And milkshake sounded really good. So I like the peanut butter milkshake, and if you haven't tried it, it's pretty good. On my menu today, I had fish curry. I had a craving for snapper curry, but I went to the fish market and they didn't have the big snapper that I usually get. It's the small ones and they tend to be bonier. So whenever I go to the fishmonger, I'll ask him if they have big snappers in the back. It's usually like anywhere from 10 to 11 pounds big, and sometimes they have them, and I'll take the whole fish because then I can cook it, you know, twice. Instead, they had tile fish. He said it was really good and very similar to snapper. It's T-I-L-E tile, if you haven't tried it. And it turned out pretty good, actually. It had the same texture and flavor, I feel like snapper. So we did that, and I also made some shrimp spring rolls. And Layla made a shrimp fried rice because she didn't want to eat fish curry today. But of course, again, she wouldn't let me film her. And yeah, it was just a fun day and kind of a relaxing day where we, you know, cooked a little bit less and enjoyed it a little bit more. So this is what I came for, a Sonic peanut butter milkshake. I know it's incredibly fattening, but you know what? Once in a while, I like to indulge, and I don't think I've had Sonic all year, and it's almost May, so I think I'm good. Before I get to drinking that milkshake though, let's continue on with the 3 names of the 99 names of Allah. For the first name, Al-Kafil, it means the guarantor. Allah is your witness, your guardian, your protector, and your guarantor. For the second name, Al-Kafi, it means the all-sufficient. He sufficiently provides for his slaves, manages their affairs, and sets right their condition. And for the third name, As-Samad, it means the eternal one. He is the absolute sovereign that all of his creatures turn to for anything that they need. And that completes our 3 names of the 99 names of Allah for tonight. And with that, I really hope that all of your fasting is easy for you, that Allah answers your prayers, has mercy and forgiveness for you. And if you have a craving like me, I hope you're able to get your Sonic milkshake when you need it. But with that, let's get to the cooking. For my green seasoning, I like to do it the day that I'm cooking. I know sometimes people will, you know, prepare it and keep it in the refrigerator or in the freezer. I like mine fresh on the same day. So what I have in here is about 10 cloves of garlic. I have some Guyanese dried fine thyme. I actually bought this when I went to Guyana in November last year. 2020, I went to Guyana. I bring back whatever I can, dry seasonings. I wish I could bring the fresh ones, but you know, the dried ones, they work just fine. I bring that back. I bring back Maridman, which is, you know, also a different form of basil, I guess. I always bring back cherry peppers and fish. I do love the Guyana fish. So this is 1 big red Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm gonna add about 3 shallot or scallions into here. I'm gonna throw in some water as well so that, you know, it gives it a nice mix. You don't want it to be dry because it doesn't really mix very well. So this seasoning I'm going to use to marinate my shrimp and also the fish that I'll be frying today to make the fish curry. So it only needs about, you know, a minute or so to really get it all ground up. And not going to go too close because the pepper is just going to get to me, but it smells wonderful. I have about 12 shrimp. I'm gonna make 6 spring rolls. And to get started, I went to the fish market this morning and I had them peel and devein this shrimp, and I gave it a rinse. And I'm just cutting it up really fine, and I'm gonna be stuffing the spring rolls with this, and I'm gonna add some scallions as well. So I'm just gonna continue to cut the shrimp up, and then I'm gonna saute it up with some grind up green seasoning. Went ahead and seasoned the shrimp with my green seasoning, and I had it marinating for about an hour. I'm gonna add in some avocado oil, about a nice tablespoon of avocado oil into my pan. And my pan has already been heating, so the oil should be good to go. And I'm gonna add the shrimp in. I'm gonna saute the shrimp. It doesn't take very long to saute shrimp. It takes about anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes, depending on, you know, how large the shrimp is. But let's go with 4 minutes for this shrimp, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and add the shrimp into here. I have these spring roll sheets that you can deep fry. And what I did was I have the shrimp that I sauteed. I also have some scallions or shallot that I cut lengthwise, and some carrots as well. So I started already assembling a few of them. So what I do first is I place the scallions down, this much, about 6 or 7 sprigs of scallions, and the same amount of carrots. And then I put about 6 pieces of shrimp that I layer into here, just like that. So I have egg wash, but it's just the egg white, not the yolk. And I'm simply gonna go around the edges, just like that. My hands are clean. I find it easier to work with my hands than to use, you know, brushes sometimes. It's just easier to do this. All right, and I just have a towel that I just kind of wipe off. So what I do is I fold over like this, and I seal that end down. And then I'm gonna take some more egg wash and put it on the edges here. And I'm gonna fold this over like that. Fold the other end over. There's so many different shapes you can make with these spring rolls. You can make them into pockets, you know, so many different things. Add some egg wash into here, put some on the ends, and then start to fold into half. It's just egg wash, it's not a big deal. Unless you're allergic or don't use egg wash, you can use milk, I believe. And then fold it over, and I just hold it down for a couple of seconds so that the egg wash can seal it. And that is my spring roll. So I'm just gonna finish up the rest. I started my oil. I put in again canola oil. It's the cholesterol-free, no, you know, trans fat, no saturated fat oils that I use. I like to fry with, or grapeseed oil is also a really good alternative. And I already had this heating for a while, but I take a wooden skewer and I just put it down into the center, and if it starts to bubble up around it, which it is, then that means your oil is perfectly heated and at a good enough temperature to be able to start frying. So I'm going to start frying our spring rolls one at a time. I'm going to drop it in. You hear that? These don't take very long, about 3 or 4 minutes. That's about it. Just gonna add in 4 of them into here, and this is what our spring rolls look like frying up in here. For my fish curry today, I went to buy red snapper to make the curry, but they didn't have the big snapper that I like to use. So they had something called tile fish, which is related to the snapper. It looks very similar. It's just got like a yellowing outer skin, yellow and white outer skin versus the red and white with the snapper, but it's the same consistency and it's incredibly fresh. So I seasoned it up with my grind up seasoning, and I'm using a 1/2 cup of canola oil. It's the cholesterol free oil that I'm using. So all I'm gonna do is, I heated up my oil already. I'm gonna give it a very, very light dusting of some regular white flour. And I'm gonna go ahead and place this into the pan and, you know, do a light frying on this fish. My oil was nice and hot. I went ahead and added in the fish. I have one last piece to go. There. And notice that I spread them out evenly in this pan because you don't want to crowd up your fish, because then it starts to steam and turns into mush. You want it to get a nice crispy coating on the outside. All right, so the fish is done. It's got a lovely golden color to it, as you can see. And I'm just going to put it on a sheet of paper towel just to drain the excess oil. Look how gorgeous that color is. It smells really good also. So I'm going to get started on making my fish curry. So I have my grind up seasoning here. And to this, I only use turmeric instead of curry powder and masala and jeera. So no curry powder to make my fish curry. So I'm going to add in about 2 teaspoons, heaping teaspoons of turmeric, and 2 teaspoons of masala, and 1 teaspoon of jeera. And I'm going to add in about a half a teaspoon of salt into the curry mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and turn it into a nice curry paste, which I'm going to add into the oil once it's all heated. All right, so my oil is nice and heated, and I'm going to add in curry paste. Mix that, do a nice mix around. I'm going to get some water to rinse this out, or throw that in as well. Don't want to waste any of that good stuff. I forgot to add my onions at the beginning, so I'm going to add them in now and let them cook down with the curry. Usually I add them at the beginning, but I completely forgot. But that's okay. They're going to cook down anyway. Fish was resting, so it's come to room temperature, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the fish right into the curry paste. I know sometimes people add water in first and let that boil up, but I like to let the fish get the curry cooked into it. So I'm just going to layer it around just like that, and I'm going to turn it in about 2 minutes or so to coat the other side, and then I'm going to add some hot water just to go about halfway up to the fish, not to cover it completely, because I don't want too much gravy in this fish curry, and fish doesn't really take that much, you know, that long to cook. I have some tamarind. I bought this tamarind back from Guyana, and it's really, really sour, and it adds such a beautiful sourness to the fish curry, which you kind of want. You know, good fish curry, you'll taste the sourness. I'm just going to place about 10 pieces of tamarind seeds. Just place it around. So I'm going to use tongs and a spatula to help enable me flipping this fish over without breaking it. And it's holding up really well. It's nice and coated with that curry. Smells really good. I'm going to add this 1 pepper into it. All right, so I'm going to add in some hot water. Try not to put the water on top of the actual fish because you don't want it to get too soggy. I'm just putting it around the sides and in between the pieces of fish. I'm just going to let that, a little bit more water. So that's about 2 cups of water, and that's it. I'm going to move the fish around a little bit, separate them away from each other. And it doesn't take very long to cook. I'm going to cover this down and let it cook for about 15 minutes or so. Let me show you what it looks like first. So this is what my fish curry is starting to look like. And once it's cooked down and bubbling away, in about 5 minutes. I'm going to flip it over on the other side and give it another 5 to 8 minutes or so. That's what's left of our spring rolls since we already broke our fast and I forgot to film this. So our salad, our curry looks fantastic and smells wonderful. I had 2 roti left over that I made. Layla made some shrimp fried rice today, and we have some regular white rice also to go with the curry. But all in all, a simple dish, but yummy. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, and please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to comment.